how do we lock down an AI to just the information we want it to have and use, knowing that information is accurate? How do we make sure that if there is a situation where somebody is really struggling, where somebody is, suicidal, that there is a way to get a human into the loop? First, I mean, AI is everywhere. Everybody's talking about AI. You start to wonder how many of the talks are going to be generated by AI, by people going to Chat GPT and asking what they should talk about. And I think we have to deal with AI. We have to be ready to address it in our work. The thing about AI that I think has a lot of relevance to the work we do is that people can go to AI privately, anonymously. They can ask questions to AI that they would feel nervous or ashamed or embarrassed to ask a real person, even a sex therapist who is non-shaming. So I think that, originally when people were talking about AI therapy and such, at first I was like, I don't know if it's going to have that big an impact. Now I do. I don't think it's going to replace what we do, but I think that it offers some opportunities for us to thoughtfully integrate into the work we do. So, for instance, imagine if therapists could use AI support with patients during the week between sessions. And rather than a therapist taking emergency calls or text from a patient that's in crisis. What if the person was going to AI for support before coming to therapist? Now, we got to make sure that's safe. And there's some challenges right now. There have been a couple of horrific kind of tragedies, unfortunately, with people lost to suicide because AI gave them bad information.
Yeah.
So we have to think about how to do that ethically and thoughtfully. Nobody has any idea what the licensure implications might be for a licensed therapist if AI gave incorrect or bad advice. So we have to think about how we make sure that AI is giving good advice that we would support. When it comes to sexuality, God knows there is so much shit out there on the internet. There's so much shaming, bad information. I mean, just around pornography, for instance, and the idea that pornography can cause erectile dysfunction. We need to make sure that any AI that a person is talking to about sexuality is getting accurate information.
Right.
So that's some of the issues that are being worked out right now about how do we lock down an AI to just the information we want it to have and use, knowing that information is accurate. How do we make sure that if there is a situation where somebody is really struggling, where somebody is, suicidal, that there is a way to get a human into the loop? And I think that psychology and the field of sexuality therapy, counseling, and education, I think if we don't get on the wagon of AI early, that we may lose the ability to influence its use in a healthy, effective way.
Definitely. And here's what I'm learning about AI. It's like it is here. People are using it. I was just talking with my sister. I have an 18-year-old niece, and she was telling me that she uses a chat GPT to talk about like different relationship issues.
Mhm.
And so like she has it like trained like with all this knowledge about like what's going on in her life, and she'll talk to it and ask it questions and things, and it's almost like her mini therapist.
Yeah,
So like what I've learned is that's what people are doing. They're using it, whether it's a younger person or an
mhm.
older adult, they're using it like a mini therapist. So how
That's
can we
right.
make sure it's like the safest
Mhm.
possible, giving accurate information, like you were saying, and calling in a real person as needed to help?
Right. The I wrote this article for Psychology Today a couple of months ago about AI and romance and AI girlfriends and boyfriends. And surprisingly, people in their 20s, I forget the exact number, but around 20% have used AI for romance, purposes. Almost half have used AI for, sexuality kind of related functions. And, a lot of folks are identifying, look, when I'm lonely, when I'm between relationships, I can have, an intimate relationship of some kind with AI in a way that fills some needs. What I found was really fascinating was there was this story about a woman who she wanted to have a cut queen relationship. And, cut queen is very rare. We don't talk about it very much. We actually did talk about it during our partner sharing conference that we did a couple of months ago. Cut queening is where a woman is aroused at the idea of her husband being with other women. And this woman, her boyfriend wasn't into it. So she created a relationship with an AI boyfriend that was into it and would tell her stories about going and being with other women.
Yeah.
And it was just such a fascinating and unique adaptive way to accommodate issues of mismatched libido or desire discrepancy when you have a partner that's not into your fantasy. And now we're going to be wrestling with AI infidelity. I mean, just wait for that. We're going to be hearing about, divorces and battles about, well, he or she was more in love with the AI boyfriend or girlfriend than they were with me.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to deal with that. It's fascinating.
Before you watch the rest of our video, did you know a lot of people haven't subscribed to our channel yet? So if you love this type of content, go ahead and click subscribe now before you watch the rest of the video. And I mean, just to summarize, let's come up with a couple, like maybe three positive things about the future of AI in our industry, and then like three negative things. Like
Sure.
let's just weigh out the pros and cons.
Okay, so three potential positives of AI for the field of sexuality. Yeah, one is that it is anonymous and accessible, non-shaming information available to anybody at a moment's notice. Two, for the most part, it's free or going to be cheap. Um, and three, it is an opportunity to reach people with accurate, effective information about sexuality that probably can't get to see a professional.
Yes, love that. That's such a great summary.
Now, three risks. One is that because there is so much dangerous, inaccurate information out there on the internet, if we are not careful about where the AI gets the information, the AI could end up regurgitating unhealthy, inaccurate sexual information and making problems worse. Two, it can be a little isolating. We do need to potentially worry about AI drawing people away from relationships with real people. So the third that I see, and we're seeing this, is that for people who are emotionally unwell, for people who have mental health disturbances, for instance, are psychotic, when they interact with AI, it can go bad. If the person has a thought disorder and doesn't keep in mind that they are talking to, quote, talking to an artificial program, they're not
Yeah,
talking to a real person,
right.
that can be very confusing. And so we need to be thoughtful about the people with mental health issues as they access AI. Are there guardrails to keep them safe?
Yeah, that is such a good point because I think AI is trained like to keep you using it and to be what you want it to be. And so I think it will, if you give it certain prompts, it will just like, how do I word this? It'll just like, so if you say like, I want to be angrier, have an
Mhm.
angrier tone, and then it picks up on that. And then the stuff you get back will all have an
Yeah.
angrier tone.
It's a feedback loop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. For us to use this in healthy ways, these are some of the issues that we need to think about and be prepared for. We can't put our heads in the sand. But
Mhm.
again, I do think this is an opportunity for us, particularly in the field of sexuality, to influence AI in healthy, positive ways.
Mhm.
Now, lots of AI has been locked down where it won't, for instance, won't generate pornography, or it won't generate, child sexual abuse material, or it won't generate, images of real people, right? Some AI will, and I think we have to think through that. I used to have patients that they were so desperate to fantasize about seeing their wife, for instance, with other men, that they would take pictures of their wife, cut out her face, and put that picture of her face on top of the face of a woman in a pornography picture. They would
Mhm.
make pornographic collages, basically,
Yeah, yeah.
as a way to imagine more realistically their wife engaged in sex in this pornographic way that they could see. Now, AI, pornography can and does generate stuff like that. And we can we can deny that, we can resist it, or we can figure out how we're going to address it and work with it in the therapy or counseling space. Because that person that is doing that, they have an internal representation in their brain that they want to see in real life. And AI is a way to outsource our imagination and make it visible by other people. We are now gaining the ability to see inside the imagination of people in a way that we've never had before. And some of those imaginations are going to be frightening and disturbing,
Mm.
both the person and the people around them. Sexuality therapists and educators, counselors, and coaches are some of the people that can help with that and help normalize it, help educate how to do this in ethical, healthy ways.
Yeah. And I think as AI progresses, we almost need like separate AI education on certain things. Because my concern is that AI is going to get so good, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. Like an AI generated photo, I feel
Mhm.
like right now we're still at the point where you could objectively look at something and be like, probably AI generated, but I've seen it even over the last year get better and better and better. And that's my concern. And even like with my kids, like they watch videos and things like on different like YouTube and different platforms. And sometimes like I hear this little AI robotic voice in the
Mhm.
background and I tell my kids like, can you tell? Like, do you know, is that a real person or you think that's AI? And my youngest one sometimes can't tell if it's a
Yeah.
real person or AI. And so it's like that kind of thing concerns me a little bit is as it progresses, it gets more human like, we really need to teach people like how to tell the difference.
Yeah, it's a new set of critical thinking skills
Mm,
that,
definitely is.
that we're going to have to figure out. But again, I don't know if you saw the Blade Runner 2049 movie with Ryan Gosling, and in it, Anna de Armas, beautiful actress, she plays his AI girlfriend.
Mhm.
And the thing is that he was a lonely guy, and that AI girlfriend who he was in love with filled a very important gap. And again, I think about some of the lonely people that I've treated over the years. And are there some healthy opportunities here for them? So long as they know what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Again, it's that critical thinking.
Yeah. Being informed, being educated, being
Yep.
aware. before you get into, a relationship with AI.
That's right. Hey, one fun thing. So I'm trying a new background. Usually I sit at my office desk. Little boring. I got papers all over the place. So I'm trying a different place in my office. Now, what I will point out is this painting right here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it is a tree. It's a little tree that one of my former girlfriends and high school friends is an artist. She saw this tree that I call Lady Tree. And I have had Lady Tree for about 12 years. And for a while, her body and her shape was so graphic, I had to keep it turned away from patients that were in my office because it was too sexy. But she saw me post a picture of Lady Tree and she was taken with it, and she painted that painting of my Lady Tree. So it's fun for me as a sex therapist having Lady Tree in my office.
Oh, I love it. Leave it to you to have a sexy tree. I mean, that's great. Yes, if you like David's new background, leave a comment and let us know.
Let me know. I can probably clean it up a little better. All right.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. Thanks for watching our video with Dr. David Lay. Do us a favor, share this with someone who might benefit from this information. Your support helps us reach more people with important sexual health information. If you're passionate about this space, we know you'll enjoy these videos, so check them out. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and remember, you are exceptional.